Yeah, Army's a tough out. We knew that. Felt as though we played, pretty well last year, had a chance to win. This year we thought we had the right formula. We wanted to get up early, chose to take the ball, but really just couldn't muster any offense in the first half. And obviously it's just you're not going to be successful if that's the case. Defensively, we felt as though our plan worked, holding them to those three red zone defensive stops and giving up field goals. As bad as it was, we're still down 9-0, and essentially, one score, and it's a football game again. In the second half, obviously, we made some adjustments and were able to make a game out of it, but it was, too little too late. So, it's a anomaly of a game in some ways. That time of year in the MAC season, just it's its own animal, and so it's one that we're, putting to rest and moving on.
The 3 field goals you touched on in that first half, defensively, the guys up front were, especially your defensive line, were able to make strong contact. 53 tackles between 8 defensive linemen. What were they so effectively able to do at the point of contact right up the line?
Well, they were playing the responsibility, like I had said. I think, the scheme is different for us, and so bits and pieces of the year. But then obviously this last week, Coach Nether and the defensive staff knew what they wanted to do and got those guys ready. But you are going to have to defeat blocks and low blocks, a lot of the time against these guys and our interior D-line. Those guys had a lot of production.
For Army, you think back to the year ago in West Point, they didn't complete a pass. This game, the passes were what seemed to be the difference in the contest. What was their quarterback able to do this year that maybe hasn't done in past opportunities against them?
Well, it's a different quarterback. The kid last year, wasn't a passer. This kid is. I mean, they beat Temple on a 2-minute drive, completing passes. And so we knew that they could throw the ball. And you're right. I don't think it was the story of the game. The story of the game was our ineffectiveness to move the ball offensively in the first half. Defensively, the one thing that we weren't able, to effectively stop was their pass game. They were 7 for 8 and had a couple of explosives. And the one that wasn't an explosive was on a 3rd and 7, which, you just kill yourself trying to get to 3rd and long to get a stop. And their quarterback, and I think it was a tight end on a drag, on a boot, just made an awesome play. And so, those were some daggers.
One more question on Army before we flip the table on Central. Jake Julian again proves himself a weapon, has a 71-yard punt. When you're able to have them a weapon like that, it seemed like Army maybe was bringing a little more pressure than other teams against him, knowing they don't want to get in the shadow. How difficult is it once you're pinned deep to really get an offense going?
Our offense or theirs?
No, I'm saying defensively, when you're able to pin somebody back deep, how much pressure does that put on their offense to have to go a long, long ways to score?
Right, yeah. I mean, there's graphs and charts talking about just, the percentages of chance of scoring the deeper you are in your own territory. I mean, obviously the percentages fall drastically, and I mean those have been studies that have been done over time, and so a lot more difficult. Now we missed an opportunity to get him pinned deep, on the one punt. It was a pretty good effort, but we just didn't get it done. So I don't know that we pinned him this game, but we have throughout the season, and Jake has been a great weapon.
This week Central Michigan comes to town. They have a 1-8 record, but I think you could throw that out the window. I mean, 3 of their MAC losses are by less than the score. What have you been able to see on the Chippewas so far?
Well, I think they start with their defense. They're playing really good defense. They have all the way throughout, and they intercepted us 5 times last year. So we know that they play good defense. They play their system really well. So even when there's new faces, new numbers, they're well coached. They know their defense. They know how it's going to be attacked, and they have answers. And so that's that's a huge challenge, for our offense. And then, with their offense, I know that they've played a couple different quarterbacks. It's been, similar to us in that way. And I think their original starter it played last week. Guy that we recruited and think very highly of, can hurt you in the air, and then he's very good with his feet. Takes just a couple strides, and all of a sudden he's got 7 yards. And so, again, anytime that you've got to take care of both the run and the pass from the quarterback position, it makes it difficult.
You're into November now, starting with this game. You got three games left. What do you tell your team, knowing that really everything's still in front of them in terms of bowl position? I mean, the way things still shake out in the MAC West, you could still find yourself in Detroit if things still shake out. What do you tell your team about that?
Well, we had our meeting last night and whatnot, and we really talked about finishing strong. We took 30 seconds just to look macro at it, just to make sure that everybody did know that there's a lot of positive things out in front of us, and then just immediately you get back to our formula for success, which is concentrating on the moment and going 1-0. And I love our team. I love our senior leadership. I think our focus has been, continues to be right on. We're made of the right stuff, and desperately want for these guys to be able to, have the kind of success where we're going to look back on the season is going to make them really proud, and we're going to do absolutely everything in our power, to make that happen.
Against Army, you had Kyle Rockwall join the 300 tackle club. You had Tyler Wiegers not only be a quarterback but a receiver. You had Banham receive for 100 yards, get a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown. What do these seniors mean to your team, and how are they going to push you through these last 3 games that really can define your season?
Yeah, so that's what just gives me such a good feeling, about today and about tomorrow when it comes is. Our senior group, it's a special group. Those guys have invested a lot. They're great people. They're great leaders. They care deeply about the program and about the underclassmen, about each other, and they believe in themselves, and they know what this team is still capable of being. So it's still October. I'm not thinking about those guys being gone. I promise you that. We got a lot of football left ahead of us, but turning our team in terms of the leadership over to those guys is a wise decision because they're like I said, they're made of the right stuff.